So now let us move to the next topic, that is the fundamentals or the properties associated with this electric charge. First of all, let us try to understand what is electric charge. Okay, first one is all about your electric charge. Let us look into its definition. So what is electric charge, children? It is the property associated with matter. So charge is nothing but it is a property related to matter, which in turn produces and experiences electric effect as well as magnetic effect. So what is electric charge, children? It is the property of a matter which produces or experiences electric field as well as magnetic field. Okay, regarding this electric field and magnetic field, we shall discuss in detail later. That means charges at rest in general produces electric field, whereas the charges which are in motion in generally produces both electric as well as magnetic effects. Detail, let us discuss later. So first of all, so this is the definition of electric charge. What is that? The property associated with the matter which produces and experiences electric field as well as magnetic field. Okay. So now let us also try to understand one more fundamental regarding this electric charge. So how this charge or from where this electric charge is being produced. Okay. So origin of electric charge. The next is all related to the origin, electric charge, definition, and now origin of electric charge. Well, so how it is being generated? We know that every atom is electrically neutral. So every atom, if you consider, okay, this is a nucleus and electrons will revolve around the nucleus, and we know this. Okay. So every atom in generally electrically neutral. What do you mean by electrically neutral? So every atom consists of equal number of electrons in its outer orbits and protons inside the nucleus. So any atom, if you consider, it will be electrically neutral. Electrically neutral means it generally consists of equal number of protons inside the nucleus as of number of electrons inside revolving around its orbit. Okay. So then what happens means charged particles, whenever this is being disturbed, so while rubbing with a cloth or a wood or a silk or fur or anything, so when this atom, so whenever you consider any object, number of atoms are being present. So whenever these atoms are disturbed, then what happens? The free electrons have a tendency to move from one place to the another place. Okay. So whenever we are disturbing these atoms by rubbing or something like that, then this neutrality of atom gets disturbed. That means there is a tendency that these electrons can be either from the first body or from the second body. So the electrons will move from one body to another body, whether from first to second body or second to first body, it all depends. Okay, based on that neutrality. Then, so the neutrality of the atom gets disturbed. As a result, the electrons from one body gets transferred to the another body. That means one body number of electrons are reduced, whereas another body number of electrons are increased. As a result, as we have said earlier, the electron density decreases. So, whenever the number of electrons, the atom in which or the element in which, whenever number of electrons are more than number of protons, then we can say that it is negatively charged. The body is negatively charged. Similarly, whenever if we observe that, okay, when an object number of protons are more when compared to the number of electrons, then we say that the object is positively charged. So during this process, as the atom loses its electrons, the atom which loses or the object which loses its electrons will positively charged. Okay, as the electrons have been removed, some amount of mass is also been removed. Some amount of mass is reduced in that object because few electrons are moving out from that. So, how many electrons are removed means, how much mass is removed means, it suppose some number of electrons are removed from that, and if m indicates the mass of each electrons and the total amount of mass reduced by the positively charged body will be number of Ne times of Me. Ne indicates the number of electrons that have been removed and Me indicates mass of the each electron. Hence, it can be said as Ne times of Me. So, this much amount of mass is reduced for positively charged body, whereas the same amount of mass is increased by negatively charged body. So, whenever the electrons will transfer from one body to another body, there is a possibility that the mass of the body also changes. Okay, children. So, let us also discuss regarding this. And what is the mass of each electron? The mass of each electron will be something regarding 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. The mass of each electron is found to be 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Suppose if a body loses 2 electrons, then the mass reduced by the body will be equals to something around 18.2 into 10 power minus 31 kg. 5 means 5 into 9.10 means 10 into 9.10 and so on. So if an atom reduces some n number of electrons, then into 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kgs amount of mass is being decreased by the body. Okay. So, let us try to understand the same with a small example. Okay. Suppose if you consider a body, okay. So, this body, suppose initially this body is there. Let us consider the first body having mass m, the second body having mass m1. First case, suppose if the number of electrons is less than the number of protons. Okay. So, it is an electrically neutral. So, first mass and this is your second mass m. In the second mass, this is a neutral body you consider. Neutral body means the number of electrons is equals to number of protons. So, whenever electrons are removed, then clearly the number of protons will be greater than the number of electrons. Then the mass, new mass will be, because electrons are removed from the body, so mass is decreased. New mass will be less than the older mass. Similarly, if you consider the second case where the number of electrons or number of electrons is more than proton, whenever the neutral body is being rubbed. A second case, when the number of electrons increases. Let me explain you. if whenever in a body, if number of electrons are greater than the number of protons, then mass slightly increases. In the case, whenever it is rubbed but still no change in electrons are being observed, means electrons is equals to protons, means mass will remain same. Got it, children? So, the body in which after rubbing, after disturbing its neutrality, if the number of electrons are lesser than the number of protons, the mass is decreases. The mass decreases. And whenever after rubbing, if the number of electrons is more when compared to the earlier case, that means if it gains electrons, its mass slightly increases. And if even after rubbing, there is no difference in the number of electrons or protons are observed. If it remains same, means there is no disturbance in the mass is being observed. So, mass is directly depends upon the addition and subtraction of electrons. Okay, children. So, this is all about your few properties of electric charges. That is how the electric charge is present, how the negative charge, how the positive charge, everything. So, now based on this, let us discuss in detail regarding the types of charges. So, what is the next step? It's all about your types of charges.